Do you think there's something to be said for getting it off your chest though? Because that kind of situation, like people build resentment if you don't express the emotions, right?
And I think that's probably why when he first said it, if you notice in the argument, he said, "You've done this before. You've done." So that means he's already been feeling like, okay, Joe Budden, you've been saying negative things behind me. It's something, and that's the issue. Sometimes men, they don't want to say how they feel immediately because then they feel like, oh, if I'm responding to this emotion, I can come off sassy or feminine because I feel some type of way about what you said, when they just probably feel like, oh, well, maybe I should have the mind frame of not caring what you think. I shouldn't care what you're thinking. But after you build a relationship with a person, it's just natural to care what they think, So I think him holding it in and probably is what caused him to respond that way.
I get it. Sometimes we do find ourselves in heated discussions. It's just kind of hard to predict how somebody may respond. So if you are the aggressor, my concern would be what's going to tip that person over to the edge, because I've seen it. Even though I know he say men they're just being men, I've seen some people take it personal real quick. They just take everything personal, and they have these like trigger words. So if you are saying something like your mother, or bitch, or or you weak, these can sometimes be trigger words for people, and you don't know what they're capable of if you are in front of them. So I don't know, man.
I think Joe Budden's trigger word was the fact that he was trying to tell him what to do. I think if dude was able to express himself like, hey, bro, I don't like when you say this, Joe Budden would have probably been able to receive his message. But Joe Budden, like, regardless of how you feel, bro, you not finna tell me what to do. I don't care about what you're talking about. But when dude started getting into detail about what he was talking about, Joe Budden kind of calmed down. But before, Joe Budden, like, regardless of how you feel, bro, you ain't finna tell me, a grown-ass man, what to do.
That'll be easy.
Let me say that first. JR ain't shit. But I still love the brother.
But it also looked like to me too, like when I do think Flip was right in telling Joe how, if this is what he was talking about in regards to, you're not going to tell me what to do, is how you're going to talk to me. I think everybody has the right to express that expectation of the way that you're going to express yourself to me. You're not going to talk to me any old kind of way. And if you do, it's my right to check you on that and say, no, you're not going to talk to me like that. Now,
like boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. So whether or not Joe received that, Flip was well within his right and should have checked him on that to let him know, like, if we're going to have this conversation, that's cool, but you're not going to talk to me like that. And I think that was part of him also let him know, what, you think you're going to talk to me any kind of way because you pay me? Like, that's that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think he was right in saying what he said to Joe. And I think Joe should have took that into consideration, because, Joe do be flexing. He does.
Okay.
I think if he would have led with the first part and then said that, maybe he would have been a little bit more receptive. Like, led with, hey, bro, you've been doing this, and this, and I'm not tolerating anymore. I'm setting boundaries. But if he started off with, you not gonna talk to me like that, instantly, I think any man, not any man, but most men, because of that, leadership, ego, masculinity thing, soon as they hear another man trying to tell him how to do and how to articulate himself and how to express himself, he's instantly gonna be like, who the fuck is you talk? Like, I just seen most men respond that way.
Okay.
Well, like when you're setting up, sorry, go ahead.
I know,
y'all. Hold on. I think Ari was trying to get in there. Then we'll go to Hink and Biz.
Well, like when you're setting a boundary too, that's supposed to be about what you're going to do. It's not really about placing a mandate on the other person. So a real boundary would have been, if you continue speaking to me like this, I'm not engaging in this conversation. Or if you consider and continue speaking to me like this, I'm going to go ahead and remove myself. I'm not going to leave my presence here if this is how I'm being spoken to. But instead, he did say it like, you have to X, Y, and Z. You have to say things differently or not say this or that. Because I was trying to think, like, when watching it, what would be a more healthy way to say it. I understood why, like, especially if it started off with feeling that you were being lied about. I understand why someone would respond the way that he did. But yeah, like, to both of your points, if it's really going to be a boundary, it shouldn't have been about him. It should have been about myself, I guess.
Can I mention one thing? When I don't know, I can only speak from a New York perspective, right? I don't know what happens in other people's states. That's light work in terms of what happened and in terms of the way that he expressed that. Like him saying, "You're not gonna talk to me like that," in that manner, in the way that he did, that is like normal, I guess. From where, not saying that could it have been handled differently? Absolutely. From the outside looking in, we could pick that apart. But I'm just talking about in normal interaction, in conversation, in hand movements, gestures, the way it comes out is going to be like, nah, bro, you're not going to talk to me like that. Like, all
And
of
I think
that's coming out,
the problem
So,
wasn't that. It was just that we continue to engage then, right? Like, you can say it however you want to say it to start, but then what are you going to do? Are you going to keep engaging and arguing and yelling back and forth? Or is it like, okay, I'm done, bye, right? I don't know.
Well, so the thing is that and just being
See how
realistic.
and listen. See, if y'all was a man, I would have cut you off and said, "Hey, don't. It's my turn next." But I know there's double standards, right? So I was supposed to go next after Ari then mistaken said she wanted to get a little bit in there. Then Ari came back and rebuttal. I didn't say a word. See, that's just an example of what I told. I don't argue with women because I know y'all don't argue, play fair when y'all argue. I ain't gonna fuss and fight with y'all. I'm not gonna waste my time because it's not gonna turn out right. It's not gonna go well for neither one of us. So I don't waste my time arguing with a woman. Even my wife, I walk away from her, and she gets mad when I do it. But I don't care.
What?
I'm not gonna argue with you. When you calm down and we could talk in a respectful manner, we have the conversation. Now she gonna be mad because I said this. She's like, "Why you say that?" That's just the truth. I don't do that shit. Now with a hard, I'll argue with you, Fizz. Yeah, I'll argue if we argue. But then I know my boundary. I know the limit. I'm not gonna go over that. I ain't gonna do anything I can to disrespect you. At least I'm gonna try not to. And if I do, I'll address it later. That now I'm doing this, all this shit on the camera. I don't care about all these goddamn cameras. If I feel a certain way, I'll tell it. I shared it last night. I feel the same way, I'll tell it. I don't have no problem with telling a man that. And we shouldn't, as men, we shouldn't have no problem with telling each other that. We come to a man is respectful. Yeah, Viz, you did wrong for what you did. You should have said that. And if he's in fact, well, why you think that? Well, this and this and this. And if he rebut, we rebut. We have a conversation. And could it get loud? Could it get emotional? Yeah. But ladies, y'all don't want a man who's not ready to raise up, because that's the same man that's gonna get his ass whooped and leave you while you getting shot at. Are you getting pounded on? He ain't gonna try to help you pull you out of the situation or talk the situation out. He ready to fend for himself and see himself only. So y'all better be glad y'all got men out here who is willing to raise up and argue and fuss and fight and get in there and pull you out of situations instead of you. Because I see some of you ladies, y'all go left, and then when y'all go left, y'all don't like it when they go left, because you got some dudes ain't cut from the same cloth like me, JR, and Viz is. Them dudes will put hands on you. And they don't care if you're a woman or male, or whatever you are. They don't care what you identify as. They will put hands on you. So, be grateful what you have in a man that's willing to do that. Not every man is, and JR set that shit up, saying, you think it's sassy. It really wasn't Aisha. I ain't gonna throw Aisha under the bus, said she been said. JR put that out there. We're gonna blame JR for that. So I don't think it's sassy.
It was not me.
Yeah,
it was definitely JR. That was a response. But what I will say to you,
okay, don't.